Good afternoon, guys. I'm okay. Just a rough night. I have no reason to think that we don't go to ADR on NQ. We've got a pretty solid trend. I'm looking for something up into like 120, 130, probably, but we'll see. So far, it's just higher lows, very slight, clear trend up. Held our 57, and then we're able to push. We're now trading inside our reversion zone on NQ and ES. We'll see if we can continue this uptrend or if we need a return to balance first, but so far buy side looks pretty dominant. This looks like trend to me. If you guys were able to spot the buy side liquidity that stepped in on footprint, that was a really nice breakout that was shown down at 040, 047. That retest into POC and pop was great. No, it's just a matter of how much structure do we need to build out up here, or can we just kind of persist with higher lows? Got a VPOC up at 137, which I think ES is looking for. Russell started to show a bit more weakness as this push has been happening, but it's still just oscillating and still maintaining higher lows, holding previous day value. So nothing really crazy to write home about there, as long as Russell continues to do what it's doing and Q and ES can continue pushing. Ideally, right, RTY also is able to make new highs, but even if it doesn't, as long as it's continuing to just maintain, I think NQ has a decent chance of continuing higher. Corner might be broken. Man, I got like the worst sleep of my life last night. Actually crazy. I feel like I got beat up. So flex. Short term, we really want to see buyers try to maintain this 75 to 83 area. If this flips, we're just going to have to come back down to our previous POC. So ideally, we do not need to retrace back down to our node edge, but there is potential. So I'd like to see this be able to hold and then continue onward for a short term. But understand that if we can't, then we're traveling back down to our halfway back. So really keeping an eye on the bid here. We won't have confirmation until we show interest over 90. Even short-term relief here can just be met by a lower high and then continuation down to like 68, 65. Need to get back over 90 and then show a secondary buyer for continuation. All right, let's see what happens here into 75s. Again, if bid can't be found here very quickly, we'll just be rotating down to 65. 45 seconds until new 15s. This is just a pullback to our previous POC. Fifteen seconds until new 15s. See if bid can hold here into the open of new candle, or if we'll have a short-term reversal. RTY flat. Off this 65, we got to get back over 75, so that'll be your first risk off if you are attempting here. Expect sell side to be sitting at 75. Is my mic not working on YouTube again? Looks like it is. Can you hear me, Julian? Yeah, sorry, I'm a bit quiet. I've got a bad headache. I wasn't here this morning. Just talked about this pullback to 65 for a rotation to at least 75 here. Watching to see how our offer reacts. Need to get back over 90s. This 75 to 83 should be where our offer's sitting. Short term. We're just looking for a pullback to this node. Now it's just a matter of how we interact here. Is this a seller that continues us down for a retest back into this liquidity, or can we get back over and start to build? God, my head is killing me. I have 2 into 75 here. Just watching to see how we interact. Can we get back over, or is this going to be a lower high and a bear flag down? I was talking to Braxton about this a little bit, but I don't know how much more upside we have short term. We're like kind of at a very vital spot breath wise. it feels like ER is going to be the excuse to either pop this or drop this, and price just is unsure. And if we look at our breadth, we can see we talked about on this on the last drop when we were down here of why I thought we were going to go up. And the same reasoning now is going to have to apply now that we're back up to our highs, right? We have to keep breadth in mind. Like, there's only so much liquidity in the market and so much money, and stocks move and oscillate. And we are back into our area of concern, right? Where things are just a bit too overbought. And we should keep that in mind. We can see that across basically all spectrums. This is SPY, stocks above our 20-day MA, 5-day MA. So we're all like, our 5-day is the most concerning for me because on the Russell and on SPY, the SP 500, like all of our short-term gains are kind of into the overbought category. 20-day has a bit more room, right? But these oscillations on breadth remain pretty constant. So I just want you guys to keep that in mind, that, you know, we might have like one more upthrust, but we'll need to pull back at some point relatively soon. And tech shows a very similar thing, where we've been oscillating in this upper quadrant for quite some time. And unless something crazy happens with Tech ER, like, this has been pretty consistent. So that doesn't mean that we sell off 7%, but that does mean that we are at a point where it doesn't really make sense to be looking for too much more upside short term. At least that's my view. It's a good chance I get stopped out of my runner if we fall below 61s. Again, I took off most risk into 75s, understanding that that's where our offer was going to be sitting. But if we break our wick low, then my last contract will be void. Another oscillation, 65 to 75. Again, need to get back over this pivot or this is meaningless. But if you are playing the short-term scalp, it's 10 points. Need to show interest back over POC from previous candle up at 83. Really hope I'm not getting sick again. I don't think it's COVID. Been some insane weather changes here. It's like every 2 days it goes from like -5 degrees to 40 degrees. I am not very good with that. Excuse me.
ECB's Holzman says inflation gauges still are very strong. And ECB's Holzman says there's a danger of rate cuts and then hiking again. And adds it would be better to wait a bit longer on rate cuts. So that's Holzman saying it would be better to wait a bit longer on rate cuts. And Holzman adds, I can be persuaded on a cut if there are good arguments.
Um, hmm. I'm stopping out of this break even on my last contract here, I think. I'm at least moving my stop up to 60, 65. It was at 61. This is my last attempt I'm going to go with. It either works or it doesn't. I can't be bothered playing this 65 to 75 anymore. If we do another rotation back down, I'll stop out for break even down here. Again, my contract's last stop was below our wick low from this rotation. If we can't break above on this attempt, I'm just gonna call it a scratch. I can't be bothered. Has the footprint chart been helping you? Yeah. That's how I base most of my levels. I think it's been a really great addition over the last year. Still definitely not an expert, but we're getting there. There are people that can definitely see a bit more subtlety than I can. Excuse me. What do I like from it? Um, I like a couple things from it. I like that I don't have to guess where liquidity's resting. I like that I don't have to memorize where liquidity was on Dom when I was looking at it. I like that it's basically just a historical representation of me permanently glued to my eyes permanently glued to the Dom. So it's very nice to let me look very quickly and gain very valuable information of where people are buying and selling, um, without having to like really fully commit to staring at charts all day. It just kind of shows us exactly what I want to see, which is where are sellers currently struggling, where are buyers currently struggling, where were they able to push, where were they not, and where are we headed most likely if this level doesn't hold. And as soon as you have that kind of information, it gives you a pretty incredible framework to play around. I feel like a lot of people are still, a lot of retail is still in this obsession with like feeling like they have to predict and like outsmart larger participants. And it's just like such a slippery slope to like ego trading, and you care more about being right than actually making money. And I think footprint and like auction market theory it itself just kind of alleviate a lot of that and give you a kind of cause effect uh template to play around, which is like, if this happens, this is where we're headed, you know. I really like that. Sorry, my not great at getting my thoughts out today. It is killing me. My articulation is not great. Offer should be sitting at 65 now, guys, off of this drop. We'll just be watching for that to hold, just like we have pathed. If you are short from 75s, great job. Again, I'm stopped. I gave up on the 65. Now watching to see if offer can hold a lower high for this pullback back to our buy-side liquidity down at 40 to 47. If offer's serious, they'll try to step down to 65s now for continuation. So just keep an eye on that. I'm not actually moving this. That's whatever. You guys can figure it out.
In response to Trump's remarks, Russia's deputy UN envoy says it's not merely the question of ending the war, it's about addressing the root causes of Ukrainian crisis.
The root causes of Ukrainian crisis.
And Russia's deputy UN envoy says we have to see what Trump thinks a deal means, and says Trump has a power to stop malicious US policy in Ukraine.
Offer sitting at 60.65. Let's see if that can remain. Almost at target here. There is a lot of liquidity down at 42, 45 into our buy-side liquidity. Really keeping an eye as we push down into this. We are now at target. If you're playing this downside action, this is definitely where I would be looking to pull my stops down a bit, risk off. This is where we're watching to see if buyers can sustain or not. I like can't breathe. I don't know what is going on. I like can't catch my breath. Feels like I just like walked up 10 flights of stairs. Best way I can describe it. Not tried that flex. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm hoping I can emergency out of it. Shock my body with vitamins, surely. Got our relief into our buy side liquidity into our 47 and have now rotated back up to our offer. Offer should be sitting here into our 57 to 65. I'm just watching to see if we can breach downtrend or not. So far, path is playing. We're now watching just to see, again, if sell side is willing to defend this low of balance that we were just trading in, or if we can get back in. So keep an eye on how we interact here. Attempting into our edge now. Testing 65. Looking to see if we can get back in. This is POC from previous candle. Just keep that in mind. That's where this levels came from. It's a great first risk off if you're playing off of that liquidity. Offer holding short term at 65s, unable to get back into our upper auction. Watching to see if we can put in a higher low or if this continues to persist with our lower highs for continuation down. RTY into our value low edge.
In 10 minutes' time now at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, we do get the 20-year bond auction. So the US selling $13 billion with a prior bids cover of 2.5 and a prior high yield of 4.686%. And just taking a look at the preview before the auction, so JP Morgan strategist in a late Tuesday note predicted that the auction would be digested smoothly given the elevated yield levels and slightly cheap valuations. Latest CFTC positioning data shows speculators were marginally net long classic bond future contracts, and primary dealers' positions in coupons maturing in more than 11 years was net long a record 66.8 billion in the week ended January 8th. That's versus 52.4 billion average over the past year.
Only way it becomes the crypto capital is if they change tax structure.
You alive, Sig?
Kind of.
Kind of. I'll hang out if you start feeling crappy or you want a boogie. Really up to you.
You're good. I can do it.
I'll probably still be here for a little bit. Might as well with Monday off.
Alright.
I don't
Just
know if I'm
will.
gonna take any trades with
Yeah.
how this is looking, but I figured I might as well roll through for a little bit.
Appreciate it.
Sauce, did you see with that stuff? Like the second the Silk Road guy got out of prison, like a wallet with like 600 mil opened up. Was that posted in the other Discord?
It was posted here as well, I believe.
Okay.
But yeah. Yikes.
I mean, I wonder if that makes your prison sentence better or worse. You know, like the knowledge that like you have billions of dollars.
Yeah. Forced diamond hands.
God, actually though.
I like cannot catch my breath. This sucks. Feels like I'm having a panic attack.
You need I don't know what you need.
Yeah.
Maybe some steam.
We're back. What does he think that does for him, other than become liquidity?
So in 5 minutes' time now, we do get the 20-year bond auction. So the US selling $13 billion of the 20-year bond reopening with a prior bids cover of 2.5 and a prior high yield of 4.686%.
Oh boy. Trivial fibrillation. Do I even want to look that up, or am I gonna? Am I dying? Is that what that means? I'll go.
Surely, if you look anything up, you're confirmed dying.
Did you just tell me I'm AFib? Let's look up what my heartbeat is. What's my resting right now? I just drank basically like 3 espresso shots and my resting BPM is 65. So I think we're good.
Sounds like you need some more espresso, honestly.
My respiratory rate's 15.1 RPM. Is that above normal? It's within range. I don't know, my vitals look fine.
One minute to go now till we get the Treasury when issued yield. Auction results to follow shortly after.
I think I just have a chest cold. I think that's what it is. If I had to guess. Any concerts? No. I think it's just the really bad weather shifts.
Treasury when issued yield 20-year yield 4.911% before the $13 billion auction. So Treasury when issued yield again for the 20-year bond auction 4.911%.
My body does not do well with those anymore. I remember the days when I could walk around in shorts in the winter. That was nice. Now it's 75 degrees in my house and I'm freezing.
Yeah.
What happened?
Getting old sucks, man.
Just wait. Don't put that on me. If we can start to develop over 65s, this could be a reversal. I'm just kind of waiting it out. The 60 to 65 level needs to go supportive again on NQ. I like that we're holding value low previous candle, but if we can start to build over 65s, I do see potential here for a potential like right side of V. It's a bit premature, but I do see the potential. If it fails, right, we're gonna go down into 40. Like that's very clear. So I'm watching for either like a secondary bid over 65s and hold, or a very clear shift down to 40 liquidity on NQ. It doesn't get better. Yeah, true.
Bid cover ratio 2.75, 2.75. High yield 4.9%, 4.9%. The US sells $13 billion in 20-year bonds and awards 98.74% of bids at high.
Is
Primary
AFib a new
GBP
indicator?
15.4%,
Yeah, man.
direct 20.08%, and indirect 69.52%.
It doesn't let you take a trade unless you have a resting heart rate of 65. If it shows any signs of fluctuation, it knows that you're emotionally trading, and it's not going to let you execute. It's our newest tech. What happens if you're fat? Well, good to know, Flex. He has two YouTube accounts. He goes by the Brownie Bear and whatever the other one is. What's up, Quentin? I'm gonna grab a Kleenex, but yes, if you give the stock name in chat, I'll look at it right after I get back. Give me 2 minutes.
ES down into node edge here. Watching RTY. Some pretty good last couple days.
Hmm. All right. Hmm. All right, let me look at this EDR. Um, oh boy. Um, when did you buy puts? How are you not green on these? $44 of them. Wow. Mm.
RTY lifted on double bottom there, 15-minute. Yes. Holding value high, node edge, and Q is, I mean, it held edge as well, but just a doji. Little doji guy.
EDR is in a tough spot, man, because the short idea was really good, but we pulled back to this balance here, and it's holding where it needs to as of right now. So you could expect some chop short term just to see if buyers are still finding this area as value. It's kind of my general thoughts is it makes sense that it bounced here, but if sell is going to persist, I'd expect something like this to occur, or kind of a continuation down. You've got time, which is good. What's your... You have 25 puts. 25 is just like so out of the money. It's gonna be rough without a volatile move. '25's like all the way down here. Sheesh. I think you're still fine. Again, like if I had to guess, you're probably looking at a like if we just put a fixed range on this, you can see my thoughts. Right, so this is just showing you where value is, right? And where we're bouncing makes a lot of sense. This is where the last accumulation happened before this big push up. So you've got people who are now buying here again because price has now returned back to this area where it consolidated before this push up, right? So what needs to happen is we need to see people bid here, but then a seller step in, right, to then push price back down and then rotate through this. So again, I do expect that this is going to remain a short-term hold here where we kind of accumulate. But what you're going to be watching for is price to reject and then continue downward. If we don't see this occur, I'd probably dip out of that position. But again, it makes sense that you're seeing some short-term buying happening here. But if we can push below, you should be able to get a nice little movement down. I'm trying to see if I can figure out where that would occur. Mm. Yeah, ideally, today you see this basically push below like this and then rotate. That's your best outlook is something like this, and then sell side kind of gaining pressure below for rotations further down. You can test then this range here. But again, like you got to get below this 29.5, 29.25. Bids should be expected here between 0.25 and 0.33. Just makes sense.
Shortly expecting the results of the Fed reverse repo operation.
This is considered like pretty solid value for a lot of people. But if we can start to show weakness below, then you should be able to at least rotate down to 28.9. Just keep an eye on this offer above like the supply here, 29.61 to 29.75. And as long as that's kind of holding into end of day, you should probably be able to get one more leg down. That'd be my guess. Yeah, no problem. You got to be careful looking at open interest. Just remember that
$123.981 billion at the Fed Reverse Repo Operation.
I'm letting this guy speak. You have to remember that it doesn't have to be someone buying puts. It could be someone selling puts as well. So it could have the opposite effect of what you think. It's one of the bigger issues with options flows when you're starting out, is not recognizing what's bullish and what's actually bearish. Because if someone's selling those puts, then they're trying to make money because they don't think it's going to go down any further, or they're hedging, actual stock position. So. Julian, it looks like I missed something. Do you still use fib retracements? We have, kind of, is the best way I can put that. We have them built into a couple of our indicators. So yes, I still use fib retracements, in the sense that our halfway back area, this white box is a fib retracement, kind of. It's our 0.5 to 618 area of the last 15-minute candle. That's what this box is. And all of our targets unstacked are fib-based. So I use those quite a bit. So the answer is I use fibs, but I don't go out of my way to like manually do them. I just use the stuff that we've implemented into our indicators themselves.
It's important to keep an eye on popular things, but in terms of value, you just need like your halfway back, really.
Yeah. Kind of just looks like we're headed down to POC. I'm at Q. Ooh, excuse me. Down at 20s. Here's your 20. See if bid holds here at POC or if we do a full rotation. You need to see a very clear
12:30
look
PM
below
Eastern Time,
20
the
for this
expected
to
momentum
gain
ECB
ground.
cycle speaks in Davos.
I'm like pretty unsure of anywhere between are 20 POC and 07 on NQ. Anywhere in that area could be our bid. So I'm not going to touch it until I see a pretty clear offer below this area, personally. But as soon as we start to show like interest below here, if we ever do, below this 07 and then reoffer, looks pretty detrimental to me for buyers. Until then, I'm just going to be watching to see if our bid can chop it up here. Offer should be sitting around 31. Just keep that in mind if you are playing off of the potential bounce here. Be your first risk off as we rotate back up into this 31 to 38. This is where we look for sell side liquidity if they're going to try to reject us down. Again, I'm not bullish on this area, but we have to recover this yellow box. Offer should just be sitting here. Need to see us get back over basically 50 for me to really care. We've got this LVN here that's pretty nice, very clear. So if we can start to recapture this, that's awesome. But very nice bounce off of where we thought into our 020. So to me, nothing's really shifted. We're just now retesting our edge here again. We can start to develop back over 040, 050. To me, that tells me buy side's still relevant. But yeah, that's all I got.
At 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time, we expect comments from ECB's Nagel, who speaks in Davos.
So there's your rejection of our 40 liquidity. It's just right back down to our 20s. Again, like I don't really have a perspective here. It's very neutral for me. I would need to see us reclaim 50s for me to think buyers are going to continue to try. Or have a chance, sorry, to break down trend. Until then, just kind of neutrally trading this D profile.
For ES to catch up to NQ structure here, it'd need to come down to 25, 24. It's weird how tight ES range has got again, like back to normal, where the last handful of weeks we've been doing like 200-point weeks on it.
Looking for another bid here as we push down into our 07, 010 area. See if buyers are willing to rotate this back up to 20 at least. Should be able to find a little bit of liquidity. And if offer can step below 07 and start to really show interest, then I think we can do a larger rotation down to maybe like 980, 960. But until then, I do think that this is, some people are going to find value here in an attempt. We'll watch to see how we interact on into R20. Basically, POC is resistance on this attempt.
Shortly expecting comments from ECB's Nagel.
I'm out one here into 23.25. I'm gonna leave one runner just in case we can push for the full rotation back up to 40, but expect some sell side here. Looking to see if bid can now maintain 20s for continuation. If we go below 15, I'm just gonna stop out and not worry about it. If offer holds 20 now, I probably get stopped here into 15s. Need to get over 20 very quickly. I expect to just get stopped out here. I was really hoping for at least a move to 36.
Yes, looking back up through LVN.
I think this is probably good enough for me. Into 31. We'll see. I think I'm gonna risk off here and then just wait to see what our interaction is. Kind of expecting our offer to be sitting somewhere like this. Still potential for a continuation up into R40, but this is all I was looking for. Personally. I was just looking for us to fill back up to this red delta there into 30, 32, 36 area, which we just did. So if this can break down trend, awesome, right? You'll have a runner, but I won't be looking for more until we can show clear willingness to trade back over 50s, personally. Short term, you're just looking to see if we can develop over 36. And that should be able to rotate up to 50 if we can do that. But sell side should be sitting here a little bit at least. Yeah, it made sense. I think you should be, if you have a runner potential, then like you're good to go, but this is a good risk off, just back into our high. I'm not really looking for a ton more until we can get over 50s. This is that 36 level that I was talking about. Again, I think if like 36 can flip bid, then we should be able to rotate up to 50. But expect a little bit of short-term chop here. Watch to see if we can develop this out and then fill this LVN. From here, I'm not sure what happens. Either we like fully rotate back through this, or we can make it supportive and then go back up. What was the box? I saw this 07 to 020. Well, so 020 is just POC on the day, but 07 is where a shitload of contracts were. There was an attempt to sell and we failed. So I was just looking at that as basically this area. Here you go. This is that 020 to 07. So to me, it made sense that buy side tried to absorb here and kind of hold this. So it was a neutral to bullish zone for me. And I was only going to get bearish if we started to show interest below these sellers on our delta by price on NQ. So to me, it just felt like a good area to kind of come back down into and then see if buyers were still interested in this rotation. And it's the same principle for why I think that price can kind of hit its head into 50. Here, let me screenshot this again. So here's our 020 to 07, right? This area. But then we have this seller up here into 50s. So I'm just kind of keeping my eye out to see if we can look back above this guy, or if this is where we hit our heads as our PT and we just kind of chop in between these two areas. That's my 15-minute footprint on Tradeovate.
New 15s here. RTY top of range.
And that was the only reason, Julian, why I was looking at that area. Is it's just like it's also our ES rotation back down into value at the same time this was happening, and
very strong backwind.
Russell also into value. So it's like we've got ES, RTY, and NQ all into a potential area of interest at the same time. So some relief is to be expected. How much upside, I'm unsure, right? But at least a rotation back up to value made a lot of sense unless sell side was going to go crazy. So putting risk on down here, to me at least, made sense. And then I was only going to go short if we saw that rejection of 07 and continuation down. So playing off of 15 and then just looking for at least this rotation up into 50 with 36 being first target. I don't know what happens from here. We know a seller's sitting here into this 50. So to me, again, like this is kind of it, but we shall see. See that interaction again. Just look what's happening right now. Traded into this. Oops. There's your push into 50. I need to see like a pretty clear look above and then aggressive secondary buyer step in for right side of the V trade on the 15. This is target though. So move stops up, understand that this is just us retesting POC of our primary sell candle here at 50. And we'll watch to see if we can develop back above this or not. Yes, testing into our value edge at the same time, and Russell starting to show a bit of weakness, but potential hold at POC below. Watching to see if something like that can happen. Immediate offer into 50s, just like we thought would happen. Watching to see if Russell can find a bid here at POC. If he can kind of lose a bit of that sell side momentum, there might be a chance for more upside. If buyers fail here and Russell continuation happens down, I'm just really not convinced that this is our break of our downtrend on the higher time frame for NQ. Oh my god, my head!
Nap time.
So much pressure. Mm.
I've been getting bad headaches like that where it's just like my eyes feel like they're gonna explode.
Yeah. That's a new name in chat. Easy T.
Hello, friend.
Yeah, welcome. Good. I'm really keeping an eye here on a secondary seller trying to step back in below this yellow box like we have pathed. If we're going to do the full rotation down from our 50 offer, this is where I'd be watching to see if that can occur. See if this like 30 to 36 can hold. Am I on YouTube every day? I am on YouTube every day. I'm only... The stream is public Monday, Wednesday, Friday, usually. Unless it's a shorter week, then I kind of usually do public every day. But most days I stream from 9:30 to 12:30, so open until about midday. If I'm feeling like the market's good, then I'll stay for the full session. Today I started the stream around 11:30 because I am not feeling great, so I did not trade the open, but I usually trade the open. If you're in our Discord and are a member, then there's a stream every day. But if you are unsure still, then you can watch it Monday, Wednesday, Friday from open until lunch Eastern time. Unless I'm sick. then there's no stream. Watching this offer into 30 to 36 on NQ. Sell side's got to really try to hold here if we're going to get one more leg down. There's 38 seconds until new 15-minute candles. I'm personally flat. Just waiting to see how this interacts.
Canada's Freeland is to scrap Canada's capital gains hike if she's elected.
Big. Long oil and gas. Don't know too much about that space, so I can't really speak on it. But it's probably not a bad thing to go long into a Trump administration. Just off of like my like personal bias. We got a rejection of our 30, rotation back down to 20. See if we can push below. I'm unsure. Russell leading down with ES. I like that for the bear bias. We just got to get below this 07 for me to really care about this area on NQ.
ES finally here. Look down towards this POC. This is 125. Basically retesting these past 45-minute lows here. A higher low on NQ. This is a pretty important test for ES. Both the downside tests that just occurred and this retest into node edge LVN.
Has anyone in this chat gotten one of those Indian head massages? You guys know what I'm talking about? You seen those videos of like the guys on the street who just like slap the shit out of your head?
Oh yeah, like I've seen the Turkish ones. I know what you're talking about. It's probably the same thing.
Yeah.
They have like a gallon of soap. They just slap it on you.
I need to know if anyone's had one of those and if it actually feels good or if it's like a gimmick. Like, what's going on?
I don't know if it feels good, man. It's like a massage, you know? Like, a massage feels good after it, I feel like. Because it's like relief.
Yeah.
My parents always told me they knew when I was actually hurt as a kid. Because, like, I would be bleeding out of, like, 2 areas. And, like, I would only complain about one. It's kind of that kind of thing, you know? It's like... I'll carry you guys. I can get you access, buddy. On your Ranger, you should have no problems.
ECB's Nagel says tariffs for all are not a good idea.
Need more mana, buddy. Gonna start calling you pirate software. The way you're running out of mana.
Damn.
If it makes you feel better, kids, I've done 4 simulacrum runs and failed on the last boss every time. I still can't clear it, it's crazy.
There's not really much to say. We rejected 50s and now we're holding our 30-36 offer. Bid is still at 20. Need sell side to start to develop below 20 if we're going to test any lower. But yeah, looks like we're kind of waiting on RTY and ES to figure out if they're going to be able to make new lows. Or we're just going to chop here. I'm kind of hoping that we chop here for like, I don't know, 5 minutes. We then make a liquidity grab into 07, recover 20s, and then push from there. I don't know if that happens. That would be like best case scenario. Something like this. But I don't know. I'm flat until we get out of this area. If bid can maintain over this 30-36, make this where buying happens for rotations back up to our 50, or if offer is able to hold here and we trap. We have 50 seconds until new 15s. I think while we just chop it up here, I'm gonna go put some bone broth on the stove. I'll be right back.
Bye. Structurally, with ES hanging out in this lower node, it would be nice to see the value rotation, but buyers are still quite present here. Obviously, NQ just flat.
So Fitch ratings say Canada faces trade and budget challenges as the election approaches.
Another look on ES back into the upper node. And sellers found there.
Watching our test as we push down into '07 needs to be very quick. This is just going to go for like liquidity grab, or if we flip, expect the offer to be sitting around 20 now. Just keeping an eye on this, seeing if this is our dip buy or not.
You're gone. I was saying,
NYMEX WTI
I would
crude
not hate
March
to
futures
see
settled
ES
at
come all the way to value low here. It's
$74.44
only
a
like
barrel.
4
That's
points
down
right now, so
39
tight,
cents or
but
0.51%. NYMEX gasoline February futures settled at $2.05 a gallon. NYMEX diesel February futures settled at $2.48 a gallon. And NYMEX natural gas futures settled at $3.96.
Testing into our 20 offer here. You need to see price like be able to step over 2025 for you to think that this is the low, or we expect one more leg down at least. Oh,
Yes, back up, node edge. On POC test.
welcome back. Watching to see if our offer can hold here, Julian. Just like 2025, or if we can get our bid back. I think if the 20 offer holds, then we have at least one more leg down to test into 07s. We're still in this neutral area, but I think, again, like if the offer is gonna move down to here, we're looking for then it to step down one last time below this pivot. And then that'll give you a move down to your reversion target down at like 988. And if we don't see like a very strong bounce from this area, then we should expect one more move down into 960 at least. Kind of my view. So just really keeping an eye on this area. So it's either going to be like a liquidity grab and a trap off of a failure to really develop out below 07, and then we just rotate back up, or offers is just very clearly shifting down from our 50s, and now another lower high at 44, and now another lower high at 30s, and now another lower high at 20s, right? So we're seeing the offer step down very slowly, but we got to get below this pivot. ES and RTY were able to bounce and hold the ranges, which just doesn't give a lot of merit for the sell as of yet.
And Brent crude futures settle at $79 a barrel. That's down 29 cents or 0.37%. So, according to the White House, Trump signed a memorandum for emergency price relief. The memorandum seeks to lower housing and healthcare costs.
This is first PT here into 07s from our 020. We need to see a very clear step below and then an offer flip, or this is where your bid will be resting. So it's a good first risk off if you're playing off of the 20 edge.
The bone broth good.
Yeah, it's scalding, but that's when it's the best.
So Trump seeks to eliminate climate policies, raising energy costs.
Few minutes, still new 15s.
I can do our offer here into 20 to 25 if you're playing off of 07. No change in our levels. Need to see the bid lift above this if this is going to hold as our low. I don't really... we don't have the acceleration that I wanted from that look. It's the best way I can put it. But I think if we can step over 25s, I don't know if it'll really matter. We get the acceleration after that. But as long as this 2025 is holding, sell side bias is still there for me. But if we get the look over from the look into 07s and then a bit up, then it's just a move back up to 36 and then 50 is above. So just kind of keeping an eye on RTY and ES to see if they can maintain higher lows while NQ is just holding our neutral zone here. 20 seconds until new 15s. Mm-hmm. Good chance I get stopped out here into 25s, which is fine. I don't care. 120 bucks for a potential push down, but if we get over then this bids, then I think we just go up. Sell side failure. I got tagged out, looking to see if we can grab a long here now. Holding of our 2025 bid for push up.
With the failure, especially on ES, well, and in Q, to fully oscillate that node to the downside, you like really need to see that lift here. I feel like an acceptance back up.
Yeah, if we get the offer back below 20s, expect this just to be buy-side failure now. It's basically how I'm viewing it. So we need to see this now hold. Right, because if this fails and then we look back in, then expect new low. But if this can hold, this is a very good sign.
Senate Finance Chair says, I hope full Senate confirmation vote for the Treasury nominee Besant could occur next week.
I'm out one here into 33 just to make sure my short trade is break even now. One runner left, 27 average long. Looking for the full rotation up over 36. Does that make sense what I mean by taking one off just to make that last trade flat? It looks like this on price, right? So took a 130 loss from the short stop and then took profit on first contract just to make that flat. And now next contract's fully profitable.
Easy. Keep an eye on Russell here as it comes back into range high. See if we can lead out.
I'm gonna screenshot this just so you can see my idea of why I thought a short might be possible there. And then here, I'll show it on stream. This is what I was looking at. So we know that there's a lot of selling deltas here into this 20 to 07 area, right? This has been my focus for the last couple hours. But what happens if this area continues to hold? What if this is continuing to hold? Well, we go up, right? But what do we need to see from sellers to show signs that we want to continue to go down? Well, to me, I was looking at this. We know that there's a seller at 50. Right, we can see them here. We can see them shifting down on this next test here, and then us making another lower high, right? Creating this channel down. And we can see that this last attempt here into our 20 edge was a push, but then we start to look below it. And this was really interesting to me, these buyers here at 15 to 20. At first, they were just being absorbed. And so I was thinking, oh, okay, we're now below our 20 edge. So if these guys get absorbed, we should see a selling acceleration if we can't get over this 20. We should see basically something like this, where we got our push down, our look up, and now I'm looking for a development below. And if they can't get back over, then we should be able to then see sellers really try to slam this thing down from this edge. But we saw the opposite of that happen, right? We saw a failure for sellers to shift value to this 20 and get us below this 07. And so I have to stop out and then look for a rotation back up because these guys failed here. Do we see that on Footprint? Is that visible to you? This interaction between this selling and this buying at our 20 level, and what we were looking for sell side to basically get, or sorry, buyers to get absorbed here or a rotation down. And if they can't do this, we should just expect us to rotate back up. Is that, can you visualize that or no? Right, because if they were going to move down, we want to see them build below this. So when we get below this level, these buyers need to be basically caught here, which is what was being attempted to happen. Yeah, exactly, what would have been. But because of that failure, I stop out 25s and then immediately look long. And only look short again if we can see that look below 20s and then rotate down. So with that in mind, I'm going to show my chart. So I attempted a short at our 20 level, and then I was just fine holding it through this chop. We could have taken profits into our 07. I did not. I was looking for more. And I was fine having my stop above 25. Right? That was my risk, was $130 here. And I would have added to this position if we had broken below this 07 and held for continuation down. But we did not. So what do I do? Well, I get stopped out into 25. I see bid is still attempting. RTY and ES are still holding their ranges. We're not seeing any sort of divergence. They're going up. So I immediately flip long. Take first profit off into 35s to cover my loss that we just had from this position. And now I'm holding for 50, right? For a secondary move.
Any ES traders, this value high is primary rotational target. RTY still finding sellers top of range, so no lead out there.
And the only reason I even like went over that is because I think it's a good example of flipping your position, having an idea for a trade setup in either direction, and then being able to work to adapt around it, right? And then how I handle risk and like my risk management.
I think it was a really good walkthrough.
Thank you. Hopefully it's helpful. If you guys have questions, please let me know. New 15's opening now. Gonna be tough here with ES back to our high, and Russell starting to show a bit of momentum loss. Need NQ to really show interest here at 36. This POC. I think my upside invalidates if we can't hold here. B is just so unbearable for me right now. It's at that level of can't be bothered. Again, you really need to see an active bid here at 30 and get back over, or it's just not worth it. need back over 36 or expect your offer to be sitting there? With the lower high at 36, again, there's just nothing here for me. Bid was needed to hold that 30s. We can still rotate, but I'm not in it. I'll wait. Too slow. Mhm. Same as before, you're watching to see if the offer can now flip on this look below into 2025. If it can, then we can rotate and look below '07, in my opinion. If bids are able to stuff sells here, then there's no change. It's just unplayable for short term. We really want to see offer hold on this look back down. I won't be looking for a long again until over 36s if this 2025 hold doesn't just hold offer. Watching the Russell retest here and cute into our 25 edge.
New 15s.
Get me out of here, man. Mhm. Not tight today.
But go buy a bunch, Kiz. On you, buddy. It's true.
White House Press Secretary Leavitt says Trump will ask Congress for more Border Patrol funds.
The forever fire. That's how it usually goes. It's like every year, the entire like Western United States burns, and people are like, "How did this happen?" And 5 months go by and they forget. The California ones just suck because it's where people live, you know? Yeah. Well, that was like where I was in Colorado, like just burned every summer. But it's different because it's like nobody lives there, you know? Like the one that actually like burnt homes is like local lore and like celebrated, or not celebrated, but it's like remembered, you know what I mean? Versus like the California ones just decimate where people live. It's sad. It sucks.
According to iMoneyNet, US money market fund assets up $8.56 billion for the week ended January 21st.
I would hope a local LA app would be good quality. You have the right people for it, you know? That's a statement, because Russell, another rejection range high. I mean, NQ still just flat here.
A very big test here into our 07s again. We want to see offer try to develop below like we have pathed. 25 offer held. Russell held our pivot for our bias. Now watching to see if sell side can develop below here or not. I feel like we're looking for exhaustion from buyers into 10 to 15 for this move for one more leg down into 88. If we don't see that exhaustion kind of come in as we rotate this, I just expect us to have to come back into our 2025. So I really want to see sell side attempt here. Keeping an eye on ES for a potential double bottom for a little relief. Russell still flat. $30 until new 15s. We are into our 10 to 15 offer where we ideally want to see these guys slam this thing down. if I don't see them attempt here, like it's just it is what it is. Shit's so slow. I kind of give up if the sell doesn't work on this attempt. Again, like if sell side can't hold into new 15, we just rotate back up to 20, 25. It's just the same thing over and over again.
So some currency strategists are warning traders that US President Trump's threat to slap heavy tariffs on the US's northern neighbor could roil the Canadian economy and send the Canadian dollar to a record low.
RXY, dude's about to go broke. Or I should say, join the club, right?
Yeah.
Welcome to the big leagues, buddy. Can America? We call that Minnesota.
Rotated back up to our 20. Russell's still holding our pivot at 17.4. We just are so stuck. It's crazy.
Balance. The on kind of a higher time frame view, we'll see how this week plays, but the kind of like inability to lift or desire to lift, probably more proper up here, can be concerning for bulls. If we don't like really show a desire to push value, I'd be surprised if we get a significant pullback.
1 minute till we get the market on close imbalance.
Hanging out near all-time highs with a real desire to get out.
What I was telling them earlier, right when I got on, is like there's breadth wise, like there's just not a lot of room here. Like you're so dependent on ER for any sort of push with where we're located. If you look at percent of stocks on 5-day and 20-day, like we've rotated back up to the highs from where we thought we'd bounce. And the more important metric for me is this XLK.
XLK.
Yeah, like look at where we are.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of like my tune through the winter too, where like
Market on close
I think
imbalance. The
AI is
S&P
going to continue
500
to
a
go,
sell
but
side of
tech is in like a
1.24
weird
billion.
spot.
Nasdaq 100 a sell side of 1.1 billion. Dow 30 a sell side of 50 million. And the Mag 7 a sell side of 544 million.
And same thing with like, I wrote about this in the newsletter, but a lot of my tune was like, I think we're pausing to wait and see what happens with legislation, and now it's like time to realize the implied, right? Like
Yeah.
what is actually going to happen to some of these companies?
That's reversion target there into 88s, guys. Please, if you are short at any port higher, like you gotta risk off into this. Look for a retest above into 000 flat, I think. If we don't see some like pretty crazy buying here at 88 and offer flips, I look for 60s below. You've got 8.5 minutes left on the day. Been waiting for this move to happen for the last 2 hours. Jesus. RTY back to our lows. See if it can break or if it's going to oscillate again. Liquidity on NQs sitting at 80s. AD liquidity was able to hold, retesting our edge here, seeing if we can get back over or not. 25 offer holding. I think sell's done, personally, if we can get over 25s. I think that was enough. Went to our reversion target, found liquidity. We'll see if we can get over and build. Regardless, I am done for the day.
4 more minutes.
Go grab water. Be back.
I like these non-data Wednesdays because they're not super crazy, but I bet all you out there hate these non-data Wednesdays because they're not super crazy. Ben, I think it'll be from Financial Juice, if I am correct on what you're referring to.
Did you answer that, Mario?
Yeah, well, I said Financial Juice. I think that's what he's referring to. He might be asking for something different.
No, I think he's just referring to that.
Yeah, Financial Juice one.
It gets posted in the last 10 minutes on their website. It'll just like pop up at the top. Yeah, it's also just your 15-minute VWAP, Zach. That's why it was our reversion target down at 88. That is why I was looking down there. It's just messy because it's so slow. Oof.
30 seconds. Oh, Apple lift at the end of the day here. Ding, ding, ding. There we go. The thing has been done.
Alright, well, hopefully I will be a bit better tomorrow. I'm gonna try to go rest. Just rotating between our 25s and our 80 liquidity right now. Globex target will be 960. I'll watch for our reaction there if we push below 80s. Other than that, I'm just looking for us to recover 050 above for upside. Seems like we're kind of balanced here for right now. Again, breadth-wise, there's just not a lot of room above us. Tech's kind of at a very clear pivot at our highs here of our oscillation that we've been doing for the last year, basically. So, there's a lot of potential that until next month, right, we kind of may have put in a local high and we just balance around these areas for a bit. I'm not sure as of yet. We'll know more tomorrow. Let's see what happens into Globex, but there are a lot of signs telling us that we might have reached a bit of a high for now. There's definitely room, right? We can get a little bit of an impulse up if we've got some good earnings, but regardless of what ER says, the market only has so much liquidity, right? And we are at that point where we usually see a bit of a selling pressure. Just we're in a bit of an overbought state, so just keep that in mind. That doesn't mean that we have a 7% correction to the downside. It just means that we might need to chop it up and do some rotations from certain sectors into other sectors before we can have another leg up. But I'll let you guys know into tomorrow what happens.
Feel better.
Yeah. All right. Peace.